What's up, everybody? We are back with another review. Today we are talking about the new game from Don't Nod, Aphelion. If you don't know what Aphelion is, it's an action-adventure game where you play the dual roles of two different space explorer scientists that are going to a newly discovered planet to see if it is inhabitable for human beings or if they can make it habitable. And on the way to the planet, your ship crashes and it splits apart, and you are both Dr. Arion and Captain Thomas, and you end up in different spots. And the premise of the game is getting back together and completing the mission of finding what's called the source, the energy, the heat, the magnetic field of the planet. It's really a 3D platformer action adventure game. Think the like platforming is very similar to the Jedi games from EA, and people have said those are like Assassin's Creed, but I haven't played Assassin's Creed, so it's that kind of platforming without any combat. And there's some stealth parts because there's a sentient being on the planet that you have to avoid being killed by. So that's the premise of the game. We're going to go through our pros, our so-sos, and our cons as usual. Before we do that, if you want to watch the full playthrough, I linked it down below. It's on my single player channel, which that channel itself is also linked down below, where we upload all of our single player playthroughs and gameplay. And I also have my Instagram, TikTok, YouTube channel, and car Instagram, TikTok, YouTube channel, and hiking Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube channel. A lot of different content I'm putting out there. So check out all those links down below if you want to support me here, there, anywhere. It's, of course, appreciated. So starting off with the cons, the performance was not good for this game. It struggled to maintain 60 FPS. Now, I was streaming and recording, but I do have a 9800X3D and a 5070, and it was struggling to just hold 60 FPS, had big FPS drops. Some areas I was only getting like 30-something FPS, and I didn't get any crashes, but that just not spectacular performance and definitely not what you would expect. My other con was I just didn't like the voice acting. I saw some reviews that liked it. I just didn't like it. I didn't think it was the best voice acting. It wasn't the worst. It wasn't the best. This is not a huge con. I just didn't like it so much. Moving on to the so-sos is my only cons. There is a grappling hook mechanic in the game, and the grappling hook can hook to certain things. Of course, you can't just hook it wherever. But it only allows you to... It allows you to hook to certain things, so you can use it to go up and down walls, swing to different jumps, grab different ledges by swinging and jumping. But it can be very clunky. First of all, if you're facing the wrong way, it's very hard to turn around while you're having to swing from somewhere. And also, when you're rappelling down a wall or ascending up a wall, it will randomly just stop and without your input changing, and then you have to just re-input. Not a big deal, but just kind of awkward. It is cool, and it is a good part of the traversal system, which I like, but the grappling hook is fine, but it's not great. So that was my only so-so. Moving on to the pros, the overall traversal feels good. Like I said, it feels a lot like the Jedi games from EA. It feels very similar to that, and if you like that traversal of the 3D platforming of that game, I think you'll enjoy this game because that's mainly what this game is. The graphics were good. If you put it on high settings, the game looks really good. It just does not really run well, especially while you're streaming and recording like I was. But the graphics do look really good. The environment looks really good. The next pro was the dual gameplay, where you get to play as Dr. Ariane, I'm going to say it wrong. And she has more verticality in her play, where when you're Dr. Tom or Captain Thomas or whatever Thomas his title is, there's less verticality because he got injured in the crash, and it's more this isn't really spoiled, but your oxygen tank is smashed, and it's more about solving the puzzles of the areas you're in without running out of oxygen. There's different tanks that you can connect to, so there's more of that, and then they both have some stealth. And so I like that you get to play from two different points of view in the story, and that they didn't just make two same experiences with the different characters. I liked the dual gameplay in this. And then the final pro I have is the music. I thought the music was awesome in this game. It really added to the feel of the environment and the atmosphere of the game, and the music was perfect. It was very cinematic, like you were watching a cinematic, dramatic movie, and I thought that the music was really good. So one thing that I don't have on my pros, my so-sos, and my cons is the story. I did not think the story was bad. I thought there were some really good moments in the story, but the game didn't grab me enough for me to love the story, but it wasn't a bad story, and so I could have put it on the so-sos. I didn't really know where to put it. That's kind of been a theme of my reviews lately. The story was just fine. It didn't have bad and good parts, so it's not really so-so, and it wasn't bad, so it wasn't a con, and it wasn't great, so it wasn't a pro. It just kind of existed. It's a very typical sci-fi story. It's very predictable, and it was hard for it to get deep, because the other thing I did put on my list that I don't know how to feel about is the length. The devs said in their FAQs that it would be about 8 to 12 hours, depending on how much of a completionist you are. I clocked in at about just under 6.5 hours. And so 6 hours is about the minimum I want a game to be. I really like 8 to 10, but I can be all right with 6 for a good game. But this is also $30, and the introductory sale has it at $27. And so when you factor in the money, and I thought the gameplay was good, I think it's worth the money, and I don't complain about the length as much when it's a cheaper game. If it was a full $60, $70, I would have a big issue. If it was $40 or $50, I would have an issue. But being $30 and introductory sale is $27, I'm fine with it. So all in all, I did enjoy Aphelion. It's not a super unique game. You know, humans going to another planet, not a unique concept. 3D platformer with some stealth, not a unique concept. Putting them together maybe is a little bit unique, but it wasn't a unique game, but it was just a good game. It was not a mind-blowing game. I have it behind a handful of games I've already played this year, like Pragmata, which was the last game that I played. It's way behind, even if the score that I give at the end won't be super far behind. It did not, I was not wowed by this game, but I did really like it, and I think it's easily worth the money. I think it's a good game. If this is your type of game, if you like action, adventure, 3D platformers, I do think it's worth playing, and I do think it's worth the price. But all in all, it was a good game. It was not mind-blowing. It was not a bad game. So I'm feeling like 6.5, 7-ish, probably leaning closer to the 7 on this game. If you're interested at all, especially while it's on its introductory sale, I would say go get it, try it. It's a good 6.5 hours, or if you're the devs, 8 to 12 hours. If you can get 12 hours out of it, it's way worth it. But like I said, I'm giving about 6.5, 7, closer to a 7. But those are my thoughts on the new game, Aphelion. Check out the playthrough, link down below. And let me know what you think in the comments down below about Aphelion. Have you played it? Have you not? Are you going to? Are you going to skip this one? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you like this type of content. I want to see it first. And I will see you in the next video. Have a good day. Bye. I couldn't tell if things were falling around her or if her grappling, or if her winch was like pulling her up. Oh my god, dude. I would have liked to continue the climb up, but
hang on, Thomas.